Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott, and you are in the Prog Corner, where today we're going to be looking at a brand new album from Cyan. Well, it's not exactly a brand new album. We're going to get into the details here in a second, but who is Cyan and why do I care about them? Well, Robert Reed is the mastermind of this thing. He formed the band back in the 90s, and it was basically just him. Back in 1993, he dropped Cyan's first album for King and Country. Subsequently, 29 years later, or 28 years later, in 2021, they re-released it. The second album came out in 1994, Pictures from the Other Side. They recorded it. That's the one we're talking about here today. And then in 1999, dropped their third album, The Creeping Vine. After the first album, he encountered a singer by the name of Christina Booth. And after that third Cyan album, he decided he definitely needed to change colors and feature Christina Booth more. So he went from Cyan to Magenta and put out all those great Magenta albums. But dude's been in a lot of different things besides Cyan and Magenta. He's also part of a Compendium. They put out one album, Chipman A, and then he does a whole Sanctuary series of like Mike Oldfield kind of stuff, which is really, really great. But Cyan, second album, Pictures from the Other Side, redone here. So I guess technically this is their fifth album. Who's in the band now? Well, it's a new lineup here that he brought in a couple years ago for that first album reissue, or whatever you want to call it. So it's Robert Reed, joined by the great Luke Machin, who's in The Tangent. Peter Jones, of course, the great Peter Jones from Camel and Tiger Moth Tales, and Don Nelson on bass. On that last album, there was some confusion about who was the drummer because the videos and stuff, it was Jiffy Griffiths, but I guess it was Tim Robinson played drums on that one. I don't know who's playing drums on the new one. It's really confusing. I'm guessing it's him. And then there's also Angharad Bryn, female vocal, just incredible, really, really strong. So that album they did in 2021, their reissue of For King and Country, a re-recording of it, they basically expanded upon the songs that were on the original. This time around, for Pictures from the Other Side, they're actually taking the opposite route. They're actually adding by subtraction. The original album had 8 songs. They dropped 2 of them. So they cut this thing down a little bit. The original album was like a good 20 minutes longer than this one. So it's got a great, great feel to it. Again, I really wish that the drummer and the female vocalist would be elevated to actual members of the band. That'd be great. And it'd be really cool to see a tour because this band really shreds and really does a great job. So like I said, there are 6 songs here, and it starts out with Broken Man. Man, this song's 11 minutes long, and it's just fantastic. It gives me all the feels right from the get-go. It starts out with some what sounds like Uilleann pipes or whatever. Maybe it's a hurdy-gurdy. I don't know what it is. It's really cool sounding. And then Luke kind of picks up that melody on guitar. Wow, what a great guitar player he is, man. He actually kind of sounds like that Uilleann pipes thing with the way he's playing. He could do anything. He's just amazing. Then Peter Jones comes in with that Peter Gabriel-like baritone. It's just so emotional, and it's great. And this song is, it's called Broken Man, so you get an idea what it's about. It's great. The verses go from C to G minor, and then it shifts over in the chorus to D minor. It's kind of cute. I like some of the impassioned lyrics here, and the vocal delivery from Pete Jones, just great. Give me one more chance, come a little closer, get a little closer. When he's singing that, you can really feel the emotion in his voice. It's great. You got Pete and the aforementioned Angharad Bryn trading lines here. Her voice and Peter's voice just sound so good together. Luke's playing is he steals the show on this track. It's a great, rousing track. It's a new lead-off track. I think this song was like the 3rd or 4th song on the original track listing. So putting it on the front end, very, very smart. Next up is the title track. Probably my least favorite song on the album. I understand why you can't really cut it. It's the title track, right? But it's 8.5 minutes. It starts with like a harp and that's kind of cool, kind of putting you in a proggy frame of mind. And then the sax kicks in, and all of a sudden I'm transported to late 80s, early 90s television sitcom theme music kind of thing going on here. With the icy keyboards and the saxophone going for sure. And then along the lines, Luke's playing, a palm muted pizzicato guitar figure with a lot of delay, just like you'd expect from the 80s and 90s. Kind of making me think of like Wang Chung or Icicle Works or something like that. It's great. The song's apparently about like spirit photography and stuff like that. Ghosts and that stuff. It's all right, man. It goes on a little bit too long, but there is a cool middle section. The instrumental section gets kind of syncopated, making me think a little bit of Selling England by the Pound, but it's all right. It's not bad. The third track is a shorter one. It's 5.5 minutes, called Solitary Angel. It's a slow ballad with chilly keys that kind of slowly builds up as the band comes in. But the chorus is super strong, very memorable. Pete sounds amazing here. There's a great guitar solo in the middle of this song, and then it modulates, it shifts keys like, a pop song might be want to do. There's a lot going on in the mix in the background of this song, so kind of listen up and you'll hear some really cool stuff, some really cool piano and keyboard stuff going on in the background. The fourth song rather, is called Follow the Flow, and it's only 3 minutes and 40 seconds, so it is the shortest song here, and it's primarily just piano and Pete singing with Engelhard comes in, so you got the boy-girl vocals. There's no drumming in this at all, but there are some tasteful keyboard string arrangements throughout that. Really makes it a pretty song. It's nice. It doesn't bother me too much. But now we get to the final two songs on this album, and this is where this album just starts cooking, man. Just starts cooking. The penultimate track is called Tomorrow's Here Today. It's almost 10 minutes long. It is just beautiful. It starts with a strummed acoustic guitar playing this weird chord progression, man. It goes, what does it do? It goes B flat major to B major to G minor to F sharp major. It just sounds great. I don't know why that chord progression works. It's kind of dissonant sounding, but I love it. Pete and Engelhard sing, this is like a duet, man, and it's definitely making me think of Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush. Of course, why wouldn't it? There's a really cool change at the 4-minute mark, real funky with a Yamaha piano going on. It gets real fast, and Luke's playing like a really, really crazy solo. And then you get a sawtooth keyboard playing a really good melody. The vocal section comes back in, and then you've got this outstanding outro where Luke and Rob kind of trade lines on the guitar and the keyboard. It is a fantastic song. Probably my favorite song on the album. Just great. Leads us to the epic. Yeah, man, there's got to be an epic on this thing. And Rob does not disappoint here. He lives for this kind of stuff, man. And this song is called Nosferatu. It's almost 18 minutes long. And you know what it's about. It's about, vampires or whatever. It's got a real gothic intro where you got piano and a synthesized woodwind patch. And then you get a real scary synthesizer with some strings behind it. And then this metal riff comes in. It's cool. It's a decent riff. But I gotta say, some of the lyrics are questionable here. Now, we gotta keep in mind that Robert Reed was a young man when he wrote this material back in the 90s, but some of this stuff is almost unforgivable. Creatures of the night, killers lost in flight, demons of the night, looking for a kill, snatching life at will, never get their fill, victims go insane, struggling in vain, pleasure in their pain. Don't worry though, guys. It gets better than that. It gets way better than that. You get a little harpsichord break, which brings that gothic feel back in. And then there's a bridge section that I swear sounds exactly like the Tangent. Yeah, I know Luke is in the band. He's in both bands. But then that sawtooth keyboard comes in with Luke's guitar, and it totally makes me think of a spark in the ether. But wait, there's more bad lyrics for you guys to enjoy. White are the teeth in the moonlight, bodies writhing, must end the fight. Pete's really selling these lines, but I'm not so sure I'm buying them. the song kind of takes a turn into like a love story here, where the vampire doesn't want to bite his girlfriend. He wants to be with her through eternity, but he doesn't want to, turn her into the undead. So, there's that internal struggle, and he's singing with the Angharad here. Real beautiful section here. And then you get a little keychain for the chorus, of course. But the time has come. The choice is now. It's a really good chord change leading up to that. That key change is effective. And then you've got some really cool instrumental sections. It's an 18-minute song. There better be some cool instrumental sections. The first breakdown sounds exactly like Rick Wakeman's Six Wives of the Henry VIII, and I'm just all for it. It sounds amazing, funky, cool, 70s inflected, just dynamite. They do another little instrumental breakdown that sounds like it's straight off a nursery crime, and then they take that the timbre and textures of that into the final vocal section, where Pete gets to sing that final line, once more to see the rising sun, and then you get this Carmina Burana thing with the chorus going crazy, and there's an orchestra in the background. Bum, 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 bum. It's just wild, it's crazy, it's powerful, it's theatrical, it's pompous, it's pretentious, it's everything you want from a prog epic. It's great, man. This will definitely be a factor when I do my prog epics of the year. But will the album be on my top 25 list next month? That's going to be interesting. We'll see if it makes the year-end list. I'm thinking it might. So yeah, in review, there are 6 songs on here, 3 of which I absolutely adore. Broken Man, Tomorrow's Here Today, and Nosferatu are just dynamite. The other 3 songs I'm lukewarm about, so how am I going to score this thing? Well, it's only 57 minutes long, so it's a nice listen. Released on Tiger Moth Records, home to all of Robert Reed stuff. But yeah, what's it gonna be? I'm going with 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'm done with the headphone system. We're doing a 10-point system here, and I'm giving this 7.5. It probably would have been like 9.5 if the other 3 songs were as good as the 3 that I like. But those 3 songs did bring it down a little bit. Hey, 7.5 still a good score, man. I don't review albums I don't really like. So yeah, I do really like this one. I like Robert Reed. I like Magenta. I like everything he's bringing to this. Peter Jones' voice, just forget about it. Yeah, you need this album. It's dynamite. It's really solid. Anyway, yeah, man. I think we're going to be doing something really special. I got a special guest scheduled to be on the program on Friday. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm not going to announce it yet. I don't want to jinx anything, but you guys have figured it out already. So fingers crossed that happens. So hopefully we'll be posting a really exciting episode on Friday. Sunday, very exciting stuff, man. Sunday Prog stream, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're honoring and paying tribute to the great Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So be there Sunday after church before you get stuck on your, all your NFL and all your football watching. Anyway, that's it for me. Peace in the Middle East, free Tibet, and God save the king, save the king, save that king, save King Chucky the Third. Do it right now. That son of a gun could use your saving right about now. Peace. I'll see you fools later.